Today I'm talking about the legends of the Kengan-verse. Super powerful fighters of the past or present that have legends associated with them or can just be considered a legend at this point in Kengan Omega. Hope you enjoy. If you do, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, hit the bell. Let's begin. The perfect character to talk about first for a video like this is the one and only Gaoh Mukaku. So many things in Kengan stem from this absolute mad lad. You can see on screen here as I slowly adjust this, diagram as I talk about him. But he was the creator of the Niko style with the assistance of Kuroki's master. He's the grandfather of Kuroki, the secondary protagonist of Kengan Omega. However, do take note, it was recently revealed that Kuroki and Oma are clones, or at least according to Faye. So that whole connection may not be what it initially was, so question marks around that. Of course, as the creator of the Niko style, he's the master of Oma's Niko and the Tiger Niko, with these two characters alone connecting various other characters back to Gaoh Mukaku. He was undefeated in the inside for like 30 years. Potentially the strongest character of all time in Kengan, again we don't know, was the one who told and trained Kuroki to kill the worms. Most likely has a deep hatred for these worms due to what potentially happened from the Tiger Niko in the forest when he was teaching them the Demon's Bane. Then we have Oma's Niko. The backstory surrounding his death alone is enough to give him legend status. He had to fight a fully rampaging berserker advanced up Oma for the first time when he was given the advance. He had to fight the Tiger Niko, which he ended up defeating the Tiger Niko, and then right after that had a death battle with Genzan, another powerful fighter who's friends with Kuroky Gensai as an example. Kinda implied that he had a fight with Kuroki in the past at some point as well, but the previous fights I talked about which resulted in Genzan killing him all happened back to back to back, which is absolutely insane. The master of the Kengan Ashura protagonist Tokita Oma, which is crazy on its own. One of the few characters throughout Kengan who deals with bullets, has Demon's Bane, crazy all-round Niko style mastery, overall one of the strongest characters of all time and truly a legend. And then the other known remaining Niko, the Tiger Niko, who's currently about to do some crazy shit in Kengan Omega and can pretty much be considered the main villain or one of the main villains of the Kengan story, which doesn't really have too many villains per se. He was the creator of various techniques such as the Advance, Fallen Demon, Formless, Divine Demon, just crazy amount of the spawning OP techniques that various OP characters currently use. The master of Kanogito for a portion of time, the master of Faye, Lutien, Kiryu, and calls himself the master of Oma even though technically he isn't, is pretty much equal ranked as number one for the worm alongside Edward Wu and the leader of the worm Yan. Similar to Gaoh Mukaku, the other Niko connects various characters and has major importance to the overall story. From there, we have the first Fang of Metsudo, Kureiryo, the Fang that was key to the rise of Metsudo as one of the richest people throughout all of Japan and pretty much the longest running chairman of the Kengan Association. Current leader of the Kuroki clan, the strongest assassination clan in the Kengan-verse. Probably one of the strongest characters of all time in his prime, mastery over the Kuroki clan techniques, an absolute badass and overall first Fang legendary. Next we have the ancestor of Yamashita, a fighter who died in the Kengan match who wielded the fist eye similar to Kazi and currently Koga, the protagonist of Kengan Omega, was key to the rise of the Nogi clan. As we know, Nogi is the current chairman of the Kengan Association, so very important. We don't know how strong he is because he was killed in a Kengan match, but was probably very powerful considering the legend surrounding him, and most likely when we see a prime Koga that will be an indication of how strong this person actually was. Now let's talk about the big dog of Fist of the Seeker, the prequel to Kengan Ashura. So the strongest character of that series, known as the strongest Mongoloid, we have Katsura, the winner of the Rokushin tournament, bodying people like Joji, and is considered by far the strongest character in Fist of the Seeker, which includes characters like Seki's master, Cosmo's master, Joji, etc. He hasn't officially been revealed or returned to anything in Kengan Ashura or Kengan Omega, hopefully at some point in the future, but a Q&A from the author a few years ago talks about if he did take part in the Kengan Ashura Annihilation tournament, he would pretty much get to the finals regardless of who he faced. so pretty much a top level fighter by default. Another Fist of the Seeker character I believe is worthy of legend status. We have Joji. Of course, he's the uncle of Koga, but the main thing I think which puts him at a legend is how he's considered the current pinnacle of Rokushin karate in the Kengan verse, and is currently on the hunt for some worms in Kengan Omega. Will he run into the Tiger Niko and fight him alongside Cosmos Master, or will he end up fighting some other high ranking worm members? Regardless, it's going to be great. The next character I have is Kanogito, the 5th Fang of Metsudo, widely considered the strongest Fang of all time by various statements we get throughout Kengan Ashura, and kinda implied by Kuroki, the 1st Fang in Kengan Omega. Of course, this makes him one of the strongest characters of all time by default. I personally consider him the top dog currently in the Kengan Omega story. Of course, there's a few that are close, but still I think Kanogito is at that rank 1 spot. He's given the respect from all these other top tier fighters, is definitely worthy of legend status. Of course, we also need to talk about Kuroky Gensai, the winner of potentially the hardest Kengan Annihilation tournament of all time, defeating the likes of Kanogito and Tokita, is widely considered the strongest character in the verse as well by many people. I personally think Kanogito has surpassed him now in Kengan Omega, but again, it's most likely very close. One of the most knowledgeable and feared fighters in the whole Kengan verse, definitely a legend. And speaking of winners of Kengan Annihilation tournaments, we learnt that Amori was a winner of an Annihilation tournament 16 years before the Kengan Ashura one. Of course, he is also the 4th Fang of Metsudo, but apparently he pretty much low diffed that tournament, so that alone is definitely worthy of legend status, and any fighter who wins an Annihilation tournament is pretty much a legend in my book. Those are all the main characters I believe currently have the title of legends. Now I'm going to talk about a few that could maybe be considered legends or will definitely be shortly in Kengan Omega. So of course, Tokita, and Lolong, their fight's going to be crazy. Lolong is already pretty much a legend from the Southeast Asian martial arts perspective, and will most likely be considered a legend in the broader Kengan verse after this fight. Same thing with Tokita, he's almost there, but after this fight, if he does end up defeating Lolong, he will definitely be there. And yeah, those are pretty much all the characters I pretty much consider legends in the Kengan verse. There's probably a few I forgot about, so comment those down below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Join the Discord to talk more about Kengan, follow the Twitter for more greatness, and as always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys, peace.